What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Purpose Served podcast episode. I'm your legendary host, Darren Wingfield. It's been a while, people. I want to say the last time I did a podcast episode was probably like a month ago. So thank you guys that's been along for this journey. And for those of you that's new to this podcast is simply about inspiring you to be the best version of yourself that you could possibly be and taking practical means to serve your purpose. If you check out the 75 plus podcasts that at this point that I have out by now, you're going to get a whole array of different topics, hearing different people speak outside of myself, ranging from number one draft pick in the NBA, authors, artists, personal trainers, professors, all different people from all different types of walks of life, entrepreneurs, the whole nine. And like I said, the whole purpose of doing this is to help you take practical means and bring your gift out to the world. It's been a lot going on as of late with the things that I'm setting up for Purpose Served, the initiatives that I'm creating going into the year 2024. And all across the board, the impact that I'm trying to leave through Purpose Served. In order, I want to say leave my legacy, and not only that, help other people find their legacy and leave it as well. Times is getting crazy as hell out here, and I'm seeing that everything is affecting people's minds, specifically the mental. And the mental is affecting the way that people are feeling. And the way that people are feeling is affecting the way that they go about life and the choices that they make. And life is harsh. Life can be ruthless. Life can be unforgiving. But life can also be rewarding and promising for those of y'all that's patient and willing. I didn't have any of these qualities that I'm talking about now to y'all, and it took so much to pull us out of myself. And the experiences that I've been having these last couple of weeks has been making everything feel like it's coming full circle, slowly but surely. Last week, I had the honor of speaking and being a guest lecturer at an HBCU, which is historical black colleges and universities, which is a huge deal for me, especially with me within the last, I want to say 2 years, 3 years of me tapping into my roots. And I spoke on juvenile delinquency, and this is all thanks to my mom, because my mom is a professor at Howard University, and she was on 2 podcast episodes previously speaking on emotional intelligence and her journey to becoming a state trooper, which right now she's a lieutenant, and slowly but surely she's climbing the ranks. But she wanted me to speak to her class about our upbringing and us growing up in North New Jersey and the challenges that we faced, like all in all across the board. And some of these people still face them until this day. Episode 50 of the Purpose Served podcast was dedicated to the city I was born and raised in, which is North New Jersey. But I developed all of my instincts through this city. And those challenges that I was presented with, it definitely left me a shell of myself. And I had this exterior that I had no respect for authority. I used to love getting in trouble. And I talked about to this class how this gradually escalated the older that I got. Being an all in, all or nothing person, literally since the youngest that I remember, around like, I want to say age 5 or 6. And I was telling this class that by the time I turned 9 years old, I already got kicked out of 3 schools. My mom was a single mom raising 2 boys. And that wasn't easy. And I didn't see that at the time. Still growing up in a world where I'm trying to recognize what life is still about. And my mom being a single mom, my mom, having to go to school, go to work, and doing all these things to make sure that we straight. And at the time, her and my dad separated. And even with my dad, I could say the one thing with him, the difference between those two is that my dad was very family oriented, even though he wasn't around. Like, I got two brothers and two sisters from my dad starting a family with my stepmom Vanessa, which she's pretty much like one B mom. I can't even say that's my second mom. She's such a wonderful lady, and her and my mom share so many common things. But my dad was so family oriented and not willing to break up family apart. But life comes with a lot of separation and putting things together in such a crazy way. And for me, it took me so long to understand this. I'm 28 years old now currently, but this is a time period I'm talking about. I turned 29 next year, so going on 20 years ago, stuff that I'm talking about. And 20 years ago in the city that I was born and raised in, there was a lot of changes that was going on, from the way that people were evolving and adapting. The gang culture had just hit North heavy. Bloods and Crips hit North heavy around this time. My family members getting involved, my friends getting involved. And when you stepping outside and your mom working all the time and going to school and trying to set up a better future, you susceptible to the things that's going on in your neighborhood and that's outside your neighborhood. And the people that was watching us, it was crazy situations. Like my mom we had a blind babysitter at one point. People that's on drugs watching us, me and my brother staying in trap houses. Like, all of this stuff is just like I said, I'm learning how to be more and more vulnerable the more that I keep doing these podcasts. But a lot of these things I don't like to highlight and pinpoint on my life. But I guess certain times a light do need to be shed on it, because you never know who might be going through similar experiences. And by the time from 9 to 13, my mom was able to switch things around, and we ended up moving to a suburban area, Delray, New Jersey. And this was the first culture shock that I experienced, something that I talked about on here. Not a decent amount, but I definitely brought it up. But I brought the qualities of North to Delray, and I couldn't stay out of trouble. I could not stay out of trouble. I literally got suspended from kindergarten all the way up until the 12th grade. And the older that I got, the more trouble that I started to get into. And by the time I turned 21, I'm starting to hang out, sleep around, sell drugs, all the whole nine. Going from job to job, getting fired, and living life like, you know what I mean? Like they ain't no tomorrow coming. I ain't see a future for myself. I dedicated my life in high school to the game of basketball. And then by the time my senior year came around, my hoop dreams was over. I didn't see myself going to the NBA. The only thing that I really wanted to do was play college basketball. And my grades wasn't even good enough to do that. So that never happened. And now I'm finding myself at 21 years old. I'm facing charges, drug possession charges, and I get put on probation, first time offender. And even during that stretch, I did not know how to stop a lot of the behaviors that, I was getting myself into. I didn't know how to stop. And I really desperately wanted to. And I realized that I really had a problem. And there was so many instances where I got involved with the cops with, people that I'm with, they got drugs on them. They got guns on them. And by God's grace and God's blessing, I was shown favor. There's nothing else that I could think of. Because logically, in these situations that I was putting myself in, people get killed, and people literally go to prison over the things that I was, like I said, getting involved in. And within 1 year of me catching this charge, 1 year from 21 to 22, I decided that I wanted to play basketball overseas with no idea of how that was going to come about. But when I turned 21, I ended up playing basketball in Girona, Spain. And the main reason why I ended up leaving ultimately was to escape the problems that I had back at home. And to be transparent with y'all, once I got out there, I low-key still had these same habits of smoking, partying, going out and doing the whole nine. And I came back home and I still had those same habits. Now I'm 23 years old, and I came back home to my mom's house, and a couple months later I ended up getting kicked out, which I'm pretty sure I explained to y'all what that was about. January 1st, 2018. That was kind of a pivotal moment for me. I got smacked in the face by life, like for real, like a true reality check for me. This reality check came in a form of not having no money, not having no place to stay, not having transportation, and real life relying on people to get through day to day. Staying with my friends in a basement, sleeping on couches, all different types of, honestly, crazy situations, man. There was even at one point during that time period, which I probably talked about this. I don't know if I did. Most likely I didn't. There was people out there that was convinced that my name was Steve because I was Ubering for my boy who I talk about, who convinced me to start this podcast and who created this logo, Purpose Served. Shout out to Steve, and congratulations to Steve and Martina. They just he just proposed to her in Greece, doing it big. But shout out to them. But me and him got into so much trouble throughout the years, and even with him, he did such a 180, and we kind of had similar journeys, going through crazy situations. And even with that, his pops was tragically taken away around this time period that I was talking about. So there was so much going on, man. So much going on. And there was also a transformation taking place for me. And at the time, I did not know what this transformation was about, honestly. And at first, this transformation was about me and what I was trying to acquire. I was trying to acquire wealth. I was trying to acquire a certain status for myself. And since I was at rock bottom, the only thing that I could see was the light at the top, because I was in this valley of silence, in this darkness that I genuinely didn't see no hope for myself. And it also felt as though I had nothing to lose at the very same time. I had to find something within me to like, that was like, I had nothing to lose. So I was either going to go the right way or I was going to go the wrong way. And talking to so many different people as of late in the journeys that I'm like, yo, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you feel. I understand what you're going through right now. And people think that I all of a sudden just turned into this person. I was always this person. People, think that Daryl, man, he's so smart. He's so talented. He's so gifted. But people they will not see the behind the scenes of what goes on and what makes something come about, what makes something mold together to look like a diamond that's polished. But if you see diamonds in their rawest form, you can't even recognize what it really is. That's all of us. Ain't nothing special about me at all. I'm unique. I'm different, but I'm no different from you. Life taught me that. And through me being honest about the situations that I've been in, how I got here, and where I'm trying to go, that led me that led me to my soul straight up. That led me straight up to my soul. That led me to God, and that led me to me knowing that I'm being guided by a higher source. That led me to understand things for what they are. I understand intelligence for what intelligence is. I don't look at intelligence for how smart something is. I don't look at intelligence for how dumb an animal is compared to human beings. I look at intelligence for what intelligence is. I look at purpose for what purpose is. I look at people for who people are. And that gave me so much clarity and wisdom for how to move and maneuver through life, how to treat people with respect, and also how to demand respect. Because I demand it from myself first and foremost. And going forward, and this time period ending this year is highly important because of what's being set up and what's in play right now. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all are being truly deceived in every which way. And it's hard nowadays not to be deceived. We're in a golden era of information. And people are being highly influenced by others. Identity crises are going up. Mental health crises are going up. People are losing their goddamn minds every day. Stressing out. Knowing that they're dying early and suffering to their grave every step of the way. Days is going by slow for people. Real slow. Because they're disengaged in their day. They looking forward to the future. They looking forward to moments that's most likely ain't gonna ever come. And what I'm trying to do is trying to get people excited for the lives that they have, that they already in possession of. Your body is a vehicle to get you to your destination. Your vision is connected to your soul, and your soul know what the deal is. But y'all not tapped into that. Some of y'all are. I'm not even going to jump the gun and say it's all of y'all. But I'm trying to shed light in this darkness out here and give people this inner wisdom that they have. All of these things that I'm talking about, y'all already in possession of it. And you don't have to look outside of yourself. And I can't stress this stuff enough. Enough. And going forward, a lot of this podcast episode is more so about announcements more than, I guess, shedding gems. But going forward, I'm going to start posting lectures and webinars starting next week, October 2nd, to be specific. And on Mondays, they're going to be ideas to results lectures talking about the process. And the process is going to be a 4-step phase of developing a goal and being intentional about this goal. And then understanding where your awareness goes, no matter if you're conscious of it or not. And the fourth thing is methods to actually accomplish the goal and get through the 4 stages of intentions. If you go back through these previous podcast episodes, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But these lectures for these ideas to results, they are going to be going on all the way up until the end of February, early March. And I'm also going to be doing webinars and lectures called Serve Your Purpose. And these is just going to be general informations on what the history of the world, different concepts, different people throughout history, and the impact that they left. And ultimately, these is going to be based off of the classes that I told you guys that I've been doing at the library and at C.O.L.E Barbershop, owned by Johnny, who's blessed me to use his space to host these classes and these lectures. Um, I really want you guys to be a part of this. I really want y'all gifts to be known to the world and build this community from the ground up. Um, and the ones that's been tuning in since day one, y'all don't understand how much I appreciate y'all. And I really, really thought that nobody was listening to me at first and feeling like I was doing this for nothing. I don't even know what made me keep going in the first place, but I knew I had to keep going. And I told you guys, that's been my mindset my whole entire life. I'm an all-in person. If I decide that I'm going to do something, consider it done. It's over. It's over and done with. And that type of initiative, I'm trying to spark y'all with. Get that flame to y'all. And show y'all that, you guys don't have to procrastinate through life. Like go by mad fast. You blink and you die. You know? And my cousin that recently just had a beautiful, beautiful daughter, he had a baby shower. And another one of my cousins, shout out to Charmonique, she made an interesting comment. And this speaks to the city that I come from. And she said that it's a blessing that we meeting up celebrating life instead of death. Because typically at this point when our family get together, it's for a funeral. Somebody's dying. Somebody dying from some illness. Somebody got murdered. Somebody got killed. And this thing is like, one from it's a normal occurrence. Like, and for a lot of y'all, this stuff is not normal. So the situation where I got robbed and I had a gun put to my head, that to me was nothing. All I wanted was that's all I wanted. And the person, my boy that was with me, it still affects him to this day. And it definitely gave him PTSD. Where he's on his P's and Q's and he's shooken up. But that wasn't the first time I got to a situation where guns got pulled out. And that also wasn't the last. My mom's in the background. Shout out to her. I was just speaking about her. But yeah, this is the situations there where my dad got placed in these situations. My mom got placed in these situations. My friends from where I'm from, my cousins where I'm from, they got placed in the situations, and you either going to be on behind that bullet or in front of it. And I got family members that was in front of those bullets, and I got friends that was in front of those bullets. I got loved ones that was in front of those bullets, and this is why I have such a appreciation for life. And this is why I take life so serious. It feels as though I had no choice but to take life serious at this point. There were points in my life where I didn't. And now that I got this light shined upon me through an inner sense, I feel like I got a duty. I got a mission, and I can't stop until this mission get complete. And this is draining. It's more taxing than when I was putting my everything into basketball. And basketball blessed me and rewarded me so much. When I consider myself a failure from 2008 to 2016, stuff that I wrote down, and me feeling as though that I wasn't going to get over the hump ever. And I got people that's looking at me now, especially kids, and they think the world of me, man. And I'm so honored, and it fills me with so much humility, awe, and respect that they do. Because I remember the people that was in front of me, and I looked at them like that, you know. And now I'm looking at these kids like I can't be no gatekeeper. I gotta give them all the tools that I acquired for myself and pay it forward. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, they do the same thing for when that time come and the younger generation is looking at them as the leaders. That's the reason why I'm doing Purpose Serve, is to help y'all serve y'all purpose, because there's going to be a point in time where people are going to look at y'all in such a high regard. And it's not about letting people down. You don't want to let yourself down. You really don't want to let yourself down. And it's really easy to be highly critical of yourself and beat yourself up when you think you failed and you think you didn't hit the mark, but it's not real. That shit is an illusion. As long as you're willing to fight, you always got a chance. But if you give up that fight, you're done. It's over. It's over. And don't have nobody try to light that fire under you. There's only so much of that they can do. It's an infinite amount of fire that you already got. Tap into it. Tap in. Tap in. And by the time this get uploaded, there will be forms that you can fill out. I'm starting consultations in the month of October to help you maximize your potential, to help you eliminate procrastination, to help you develop compassion for yourself, to help you develop empathy for yourself, to help you develop courage, and to help you develop wisdom. This is going to be challenging for you, just like this is going to be challenging for me. This is my first time doing these things. And I'm not shying away from it. I've been shying away from it at this point for way too long. And it's time to step into it. And I'm encouraging y'all to step into it as well. Embrace that scariness just like I'm doing. And trust that you're going to be guided through it. That's it. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Add me on LinkedIn. Add me on Facebook. The ebook Ideas to Results will be coming out next Friday, along with the next podcast episode. And the following Friday after that, the audiobook will be available as well. But like I said, going into next year, I'm trying to have 100 active members participating in the Purpose Served universe in order to really, really, really get the ball going. And my goals for Purpose Served is to increase the graduation rate for high school and college students, and increase the participation in indoor and outdoor activities, and decrease violence in at-risk communities such as the city where I come from, North New Jersey, Camden, Chicago, Los Angeles, Compton, Jacksonville, DC, Baltimore, New York, Harlem, all these different types of places. And this is not restricted to race. This is a humanity thing. So this is bigger than me. This is bigger than you. This has every single thing to push life forward in itself. If you guys been paying attention and tuning in for this long on this podcast episode of me understanding things for what they are in itself. Now I'm starting to understand what life is and life in itself and everything that life come with. The good, the bad, the ugly, and indifferent. If you guys support this message, if you guys support this cause, if you guys support these initiatives, please download this podcast. Please share this content to your loved ones. Discuss this with your loved ones. And see if y'all can spark that purpose within each other and push life forward in a better light than what it is now. I believe that in the end, all will be good. And if y'all not willing to sacrifice yourselves, then collectively, people and everything will be sacrificed unwillingly. That's all I gotta say. Serve your purpose. Treat the purpose as if it's the goal and take action towards it. That's the service part. And I'm out of here. Love y'all. Last but not least, deuces.